pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
America,
and to the
to the
republic
republic for which it stands,
one
nation
under
under
God,
God, indivisible,
with
with
liberty.
liberty and justice for.
This time. All right, John Foster,
Here.
Randy Court, John Ellis,
Here.
Jim Stearns,
Here.
Craig Barry,
Here.
Navu,
Here,
Rick Dennehy,
Here.
Jerry Gay,
Here.
Mark Moran,
Here.
and Cliff Bingham.
Here. Go ahead and have the. I nominate Mark for president. Second. Favor? Aye.
I'm
Go ahead.
I'm not hearing. I'm sorry. For some reason, the volume's cutting out. Is there anything with this near the speaker? I'm hearing like half of what you're saying.
Is that any better?
I just heard your question. I heard your question if that's any better, but I don't know what we just voted.
The nominations for president for the, right now.
You nominated me. I'm going to ask to defer. I seem to be always out of town on this.
He didn't nominate you, no.
Oh, thank you.
You're not. She doesn't want. That's why I nominated, so she acts like she can't hear.
Well played.
So
Well played.
you were nominated as president. I'll let you go ahead and continue this meeting.
Okay.
Oh,
Did make nominations for vice president.
Nominate Jerry Gay.
I'll second that. Nominate secretary.
All in favor?
All in favor of vice president?
hi.
Aye.
Okay.
Secretary.
And secretary. Want to be secretary?
I nominate Cliff Bingham, secretary.
Yeah,
I'll
right.
second.
There we go.
There's a secretary right over there.
All in favor?
Aye.
Go to the budget message for the June.
Okay, thank you. The document I'm looking at, it looks like this. It begins on page 1, which is the budget message. If I was Steve to follow me through that. Navu, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I did. I can.
So this is the budget message for fiscal year 2026-2027. To the members of the board, the budget committee, and the citizens of Jackson County Fire District 1, the recommended annual budget for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2026 and ending June 30th, 2027 is presented as required by ORS 294.426 for your consideration. As required by law, the proposed budget is balanced. You, as the budget committee, have the right to make changes to any section of this proposed document before you approve it. The board of directors cannot vary any appropriations by more than 10% in any fund without the entire budget committee's approval. This budget was developed from our entire staff in a conservative approach that tries to slightly underestimate our revenues and slightly overestimate our expenditures. The district valuation increased by 5.2% from 2024 to 2025. We project revenue by assuming the district valuation from last year will only increase by 3%. Then we assume 7% of the district's assessed taxes will not be paid during this fiscal year. This is a very conservative way to anticipate budget revenue. This budget funds the priorities of Jackson County Fire District 1. The fiscal year 2026-27 budget includes the following projects. Providing represented employees with a 2.7% cost of living allowance wage increase. Receiving grant money to install solar panels and a battery storage system on the fire station. Paying for one employee to attend paramedic school. Receiving grant funds from Oregon State Fire Marshal to hire 3 seasonal firefighters for the summer. Setting funds aside for the replacement of aging HVAC units or other unanticipated repairs. Installing tablet command software and hardware into district vehicles. Purchasing a stair chair and power gurney for the new ambulance. Installing fire station alerting into the fire station. Carrying forward unspent capacity grant funds in anticipation of paying it back to Oregon State Fire Marshal. The proposed budget for Jackson County Fire District 1 for fiscal year 2026-27 is balanced at $6,277,943. JCFD 1 uses 3 funds to track resources and expenditures. The General Fund, Local Option Levy Fund, and the Capital Levy Fund. General Fund. The General Fund is used to record financial transactions as it relates to providing emergency medical service, fire suppression, fire prevention, and administration of the fire district. Tax revenues, cash carry forward, and ambulance fees are the main sources of revenue for this fund. The general fund makes up approximately 80% of the total budget at $5,015,237. Personnel services make up the largest portion of the general fund at approximately 62% and includes wages and benefits for the district's full-time employees. Materials and services, capital outlay, transfers, and contingency, and unappropriated ending fund balance make up the other 38% of the general fund. Local option levy fund. The tax revenue received from a local option levy must be retained in a separate fund and utilized only for the purpose for which it was approved in the ballot measure. The 5-year local option levy was established to augment operational funding at a rate of 50 cents per thousand of assessed value. We renewed the local option levy for an additional 5 years in 2026 at a rate of 80 cents per thousand. The local option levy fund makes up 11% of the total budget at $712,681. For fiscal year 2026-27, 100% of the local option levy fund will be transferred into the general fund. Capital levy fund. The capital fund is a type of special revenue fund that is used to record the resources and expenditures needed to finance and maintain the building or acquisition of capital projects that are major expenditure items. Resources can include the proceeds of general obligation bonds, local option taxes, grants, and or other revenues authorized for financing capital projects. In fiscal year 2014-15, the district established a 10-year capital levy set at 25 cents per $1,000 of assessed value to fund a 10-year capital equipment replacement schedule and to provide for maintenance on the district's facility. 2 years ago, the community voted to extend the capital levy fund for an additional 10 years to 2034. In the last 7 years, the capital levy fund has purchased a Type 1 engine, Type 3 engine, 2 remounted ambulances, and a staff truck. It has also funded interior and exterior paint, flooring, and parking lot repairs at the fire station. In fiscal year 2023-24, the capital levy fund paid the last of 5 payments for the Type 1 and Type 3 engines, the conversion of a storage room into a captain's office and berthing, audio-visual upgrades for the training room, set money aside for the purchase of radio accessories that will be compatible with Jackson County's radio infrastructure upgrade, and set money aside for replacement of aging HVAC systems as failures occur. This year, the capital levy fund will install tablet command software and hardware into district vehicles, purchase a stair chair and power gurney for our newest ambulance, and install fire station alerting into the fire station. These items are exactly what the capital levy fund was intended for. The capital levy fund makes up 9% of the total budget at $550,025. In conclusion, this proposed budget meets all federal and state mandates as well as local obligations. We believe this budget will allow the district to maintain its current level of service for the fiscal year 2026-27. The revenue projections used to develop this budget are conservative to ensure that revenue expectations are met, while the expenditures are based upon current actual expenditures and projections. I would like to publicly thank the entire staff for their help in preparing this budget. It was a team effort with input by all members of the district. I also want to thank members of the budget committee for their time and effort in considering this budget. This budget does not require a vote of the people, and therefore your action alone will approve or disapprove this document. Respectfully.
I had a question about a local option valuation versus the capital valuation. So the capital levy is at a quarter per thousand.
Yeah.
And it brings in $550,000.
Okay.
And the local option is now 80 cents.
Yeah.
And it only brings in 712. So the math doesn't work out. If it's 3 times as much, it should be bringing in considerably more. So is it this year where it becomes effective?
Yes.
Good catch.
So I just would like that revised when we get the actual figures in there. Can't hold us up. I just wanted you to be aware.
Okay, I'll look at that one. Okay. There's 2 documents you should have in front of you. One is called the budget summary. And the other one is called the general fund detail. So I primarily was going to use the budget summary to walk us through the budget. But
In light of that, it's not gonna be balanced anymore unless you're gonna put all that extra into cash carry forward or.
Yeah, the capital levy is more this year because we didn't buy an ambulance, right? We carried monies forward. That we didn't spend.
It should have been about 300, I'm thinking.
Yeah, the
That was
revenue carry forward is 339,000. But we're also reserving for future a big chunk this year. So that makes it a lot more than it was.
so is the question of the revenue.
revenue versus carry forward. Is that the revenue and carry forward are being put in the same bucket?
Yes, but they're on separate line items. You should be able to.
So if that's the case, then back to Craig's original question is, one is at 80 cents per 1,000, the other is 25, and there is only a delineation between the two of 200,000. So if that was the case, and they're reflected individually, it's a cash carry forward, and one is reflected in the revenue, doesn't the revenue be correct? Would it not?
Yeah, I think it was.
I have a difference with it. Capital is 205,000. Local option is 60. Oh, you just going by my budget?
Yeah.
I probably have the wrong number in my budget. And local option levy, 712. 712 includes property taxes from the previous year. And capital, 205. That 95 in my budget. If you look at the budget summary,
And 339 capital and 40,000 in local option. Carry forwards. That should be way bigger. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
The revenue carry forward,
that'd be
that's from
some-
last year, right? That's what's being brought forward. your property tax is current. Is that the estimated at the, is it included in
Yeah.
the property taxes or,
Property taxes current should be the tax rate times the value.
Mike, if you look at the top line in the red budget, summary revenue, you go to the far right side, you got local option is bringing in 40,449. And capital is 339,265.
As a carry forward.
So, local
That's
option
not-
should bring in 3 times what capital brings in.
No, that's revenue carry forward, not property tax.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So go to
Property
the
tax
line.
is current.
Go to
Okay,
the
all
line
right.
right below it.
246, yeah, okay. I'm sorry. On the wrong line.
Yeah, maybe it's naming. I think in the past, maybe we always had the ending fund balance. Yes. Revenue is like this year, and so I've always looked at it as something coming in now rather than something that's pre-existing. But maybe that's what we're calling it.
So revenue carry forward is revenue from the previous budget.
Yeah, carry forward.
And then the property tax of current will be what we're bringing. Are we okay?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Thank you for bringing that up. So, you have the budget summary document, which looks like this. It begins on page 5. And then you also have a general fund detail that begins on page 9. I pretty much am going to go through the budget with the budget summary beginning on page 5. Which just has the total of each line item. But if we want to look at the detail of that particular line item, we can go to the budget detail. And that's up to you guys. We'll do that as much or as little as you want. This meeting is for your information. So we'll go as fast or as slow as you want. Please feel free to stop me, ask me questions at any time. And if I proceed past something and you want to bring me back to something, please feel free to do that. Okay? So I'm on page 5, called the budget summary. And the first page is called revenue. Property taxes current went up a little bit. That's mainly due to growth and also due to a 50-cent increase in a local option levy. Moving on down the page.
Can we question on that one?
Okay.
It doesn't look like it went up much. We look at the general fund, you've got $1,588,000.
Hmm.
We've currently collected year to date $1,550,000. Doesn't look like it grew by 3%. Last year's budget amount was $1,505,000. So that should have gone about 60,000. So that's what you did off the budgeted amount, not the actual of what we collected.
Yes. That's what, so the column on the left, 25, 26 adopted is the budgeted.
Yeah, but we can't see like general fund out of that. That's what I was talking about earlier. Last year, general fund amount, the budgeted amount was $1,505,469. And currently, year to date, we've collected $1,549,939. It doesn't look like we're only anticipating what $20,000-$30,000 maybe. Close to 40,000 over what we've collected so far. Am I reading that right?
Yes, but I don't know if that includes the transfer from the local option levy. The other thing I would tell you is that it's budgeted pretty conservatively for this revenue, the 1.588 under general fund. that is assuming a 3% growth and 7% is uncollectible. So that's a very conservative number. And we would expect that we're going to collect substantially more than that, just like we're doing this year.
Usually 98% or so collections.
97.
97.
He's using 93.
Yeah,
Yeah, 93.
He's a
it's a big
90,
buffer.
93,
But we
but we're collecting 100. And
we begin with the assumption that growth is only going to be 3%, but growth has always been 4.5 to 5. So we're pretty conservative right in the beginning, and that's before we subtract the 7%.
okay, that's conservative.
Okay, let's go down to grants. This number went up a lot to $638,630. That is because of the solar grant, which adds about $603,000 to it. That also includes $35,000 for seasonal firefighters. Dropping down the page, by the way, I'm skipping a lot of numbers that are not exciting to talk about. So if there's anything I don't talk about, do you want to talk about?
So just a fuel reimbursement, we can call that revenue.
Yes,
That's,
It,
so that
is that allowable?
That is a new line that we put in because we was tracking our fuel and the city's fuel together. We want to break them out. So if you go to materials and services, you'll see that I budgeted $80,000 total fuel for both the city and the fire district. But we anticipate we're going to get 30,000 of that back in revenue. Okay, going down to the bottom of the page, actually, let me back up. Ambulance fees, we left it about 650,000.
And before we get to ambulance fees on the fire protection contracts, you're showing zero revenue on those. Didn't we just do some new contracts this year?
showing 500.
Sorry, showing 500, but under the, this year's budget, there was nothing, but we're showing only $500.
We've taken in more money than that. So that should be a bigger.
So what should that be?
That should probably be about 2,000.
Which one's 2,000?
Fire protection contracts.
The GEMT, looks like we're only planning on getting 50,000 this year. And there's an $18,000 expenditure. Is that typical? Because we were closer to the $100,000.
Fees that we have to pay. Well,
Correct.
it is just so hit and miss when those funds come in.
You've done like a multi-year average on what they should be.
And our
There's gotta be
current,
something. You have data on this.
current year to date's 98,000.
Yeah, but that is paid, those monies were paid from like the previous 3 years. So
Yeah,
they're coming back, they're coming in.
I would use those previous 3 years and take the median of them, and this is what we expect. Best data you have.
Yeah.
Do you expect it to significantly drop from what it has been?
Well, it's been this year, fiscal year 26 hasn't even been approved yet. So I don't even know if the program will be there.
We're still waiting to receive 2025 GE. It's impossible to budget against.
Right,
We're being very conservative.
okay. Yeah, because this past 25, 26, we budgeted 50 and have so far received 98. And the year before that, we received 160, and the year before that, we received 125. So,
Okay, so there's your median right there. It should be closer to,
no, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong line. Yeah, no, that's right. That's exactly right. We budgeted 50, so far we've received 98. Year before we got 160, year before we got 125. I think pretty conservative.
Do those, numbers include, we'll take out?
We separated the fees out.
And we did that. We did that last year, which is why these numbers are so high. Is that right?
Not seeing them for last. Page 7. I seen. Or look, I guess last year was 18,000 prior. Top of page 7. Well, last year, I guess, 160. These are 18, so pretty close to 120,000. Both of them are 130,000. It just seems low to me. And I know you could say we may not show up, but I think it should probably be in there.
Yeah, we've paid 31,000, about 32,000 in fees so far this year.
And are still waiting to get the 2025.
Okay.
Okay, that's all I have for revenue. Are there any more questions on revenue?
Under the fire med and the Mercy Flight memberships, see we're again budgeting for 25 and 20. The 24-25 actuals 216, then 975 as this year's. Have we seen a significant increase in revenues from that, or are we overinflating those two revenues?
Right now, for Mercy Flight members, we've brought in 22,000.
Mercy Flights, you get your budgeted 20,000.
Just for your information, the current year-to-date collections on fire med membership are 32,121, and the current to-date collections on Mercy Flight membership is 21,007.
Okay.
So I don't know why it's reflecting
Change.
so low in 24-25.
Yeah.
That's
That's strange.
obviously not very accurate.
Yeah.
Did you say actual is up to 32,000?
The current year that we're in, so far this year, fire med memberships, we have collected thus far 32,121.
That's not combined, is it? Are they actually separated?
Yeah, Mercy Flight
Mercy Flights
is 21,785.
So we roughly came in with 1,000.
53,000, 54,000.
Okay, I'm on page 6. The budget summary. Personnel services. We'll start with talking about salaries. Salaries went up from 1.49 to 1.65. This is mainly due to a 2.7% increase in wages for represented employees and a little bit more for admin staff if that gets approved. And also it's because we have
What percentage did you do for the admin staff?
15% for Jenny, 30% for you, 20% for Jenna, and I'm gonna ask for 2.7. We have 2 employees that will be getting their paramedics, so their salaries will be going up. We have 3 employees who got their bachelor's degrees, so those incentives cost more money, and we're happy to take them.
So you said, represented are getting a 2.7% increase?
Yeah.
And so is the adopted salary of 1,494,000, is that an accurate value? Higher than that?
Yeah, go to the right. It's 1.650.
Well, that's what you're asking. I'm trying to figure out, because 2.7% added to the 1494 is 1.534. So it's over 100,000, 116,000.
The other thing that is in there that wasn't in there before is 35,000 for grant funded seasonal firefighters. We did carry that on its own line last year.
But now that goes into salaries.
Yes.
Okay.
The reason we did that is because it pulls out of salary. So if we don't do that, it doesn't track right.
Okay, so 116 minus 35. So you're asking for $81,000 for the two office staff and yourself? Correct.
Say that again.
So 116 is the difference between what I calculated
Okay.
and the 16.55. And so take the 35 out, that's 81,000. Yeah. Note that?
Also, was there any contingency figured in for vacation payout? Employees that may be retiring.
Yes, it's called uncompensated absences. Or excuse me, compensated absences. And there's 40,000. Moving down the line, everything else is acting pretty normally. Configuration stayed the same. Personnel service. Okay, materials and services. The first line I want to talk about is apparatus fuel. We raised that pretty substantially from 60,000 to 80,000. Because fuel is pretty unstable right now. And also this 80,000 includes both us and the city, not themselves. Now moving on down the page, the contract services, which is the bottom line. We'll see a pretty big jump on that number to 86,825. Mainly due to our audit going up to plus audit figures for the solar, to audit the solar grant. And we also included executive recruitment in here to pay for that.
Mike, can we go back? I have a question on the line item. This is under station maintenance and repairs. There's just a line for Costco, 4,800. Is that broken down into the line item of what items are actually being purchased? That's $4,800.
It's, you know, it's everything from cleaning supplies to. That would be a pretty detailed breakdown. And on contract services, I also included executive recruitment, $10,000. We actually found out from SBAO we could get that.
So elections, I know aren't funded this year. That's your next page.
We don't have anything coming up for
And the next year?
next year.
Yeah.
We do, we
Yeah.
have 3 positions coming up.
Call for the board.
Board,
Yeah, it needs to be.
Does your district pay for that?
nope,
The district does pay for it.
We do.
district pays for
The elections.
the election,
The election and
sending out ballots.
I think voter pamphlet information, you know,
Yeah, voter,
But
you,
sending out
the
ballots.
individual.
individual, yeah, but that.
Yeah,
we- they would-
cost of the election.
Right.
Which you,
Probably 3,000,
I didn't know that.
maybe 4,000.
Budgeted 5,000 last time and when we had two going.
For that range.
Have a question on prevention. By the reduction,
Mainly because I think we moved a reader board to a capital.
move to what?
A reader board. I think that's part of it, but the other part is we budgeted for a lot of advertising last year that we didn't actually spend money on. We do a lot of advertising through like Facebook and stuff like that, but we didn't spend the money.
Is fire plan, fire, pre-fire planning, is that part of prevention?
But we pay for software for that, but that comes out of a different. software.
Okay.
And other than the
And the
software. it
Digital
doesn't cost-
file is in dispatch,
The
pre-fire
files,
plans.
the files would be on our MDTs or a program called Tablet Command
Yeah,
that we'll be installing this year. And then those files will be shared with all other agencies around. So we can all look at each other's pre-fire.
Like under training, travel and lodging, in your opening statement, you said that we would be paying for training of a paramedic. That be in that section?
No,
Student scholarship program.
yes. Which is on page 6.
That's bridging a current basic to a.
Yeah. That's 3 students and then 1 employee on the training. Okay, and then the last thing I'll talk about in materials and services is Department of Energy CREP grant of contracts. That's $603,630. And then we also added 20,000 to it for unanticipated expenses like the district was picked up. And then the last item on materials and services is unspent capacity grant funds. It's 120,000. The capacity grant, we underspent that grant, have been underspending it for the last 3 years. And we anticipate we'll have to give back the unspent money to Oregon State Fire Marshal. So that's where it went. Okay, moving down the page, to contingency, we kept that at 150,000. On the next page, page 8. Unanticipated fund, ending fund balance. This is money that we are not going to appropriate in this budget cycle. So we're moving it to next year's budget. In order to spend it, we would have to reconvene the budget committee and approve. So we put that at $245,725. That's about a $57,000 increase. And that's the general fund.
And so it's 57,000 more than it was last year. How are we trending on that account?
I was going up when I had money to it. Trending on the general fund?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
And make it up one.
So now let's talk about the capital fund. I'm gonna take you to the general fund detail. And we'll look at page 17. This is the last page, second to the last page. So we So we brought forward 339,000, 205,000 property taxes. So you see our total revenue of 550,000. Station maintenance, we increased that 5,000 to 50,000. So we've been increasing that a little bit every year. So that's like a savings account for us. That may seem like a high number, but we have some very old furnaces and air conditioning units upstairs that we expect to start building. And then down on apparatus equipment, I don't know why we call it apparatus. But we funded money for bay doors, equipment maintenance, nozzles and appliances, a power gurney, radios, station alerting, stair chair and tablet.
Radios being funded somewhere else? I thought they were more than.
Yes, the radios are funded through a grant through ECSO. However, we have to buy a lot of peripherals, like
Gotcha.
lapel mics and vehicle chargers and
Okay.
bank chargers, stuff like that. Station alerting is, we go into the fire station, and now we'll get dispatched with the new radio infrastructure. Tablet command is new software that will be going into our vehicles. Our MDTs will be going away from tablets. Tablet command is kind of what the value is going.
Does this 35 cover our entire fleet?
So the grant for the radios from Source, is that, are they just giving us the equipment or are they giving us money?
Only the,
But does it need a?
no. We just tell them how many vehicles we have and how many portable spots we have.
How many ambulance do we have? 3?
You have three stair chairs.
We only have 2, we need a third one.
Okay.
Because we have 3. Okay, let's go to the last page, page 18. This is the local option levy. Shows you the revenue carry forward, our anticipated tax revenue. And so we hope to get it 700. Okay, are there any other questions on the budget, or the budget detail?
I'm surprised you're only getting $1,000 interest on that amount of money. $600,000.
We've done much better this year. I think we're gonna not do well next year.
Have we done much better on interest?
Interest,
They,
I
whatever
noticed that earlier, that
effort was, we spent that when they're both 1,000.
interest. So far this year, we've collected 55,496.
Quite a bit off.
Big difference.
In the local option.
No.
On both, on local and the capital. Both together, they're over $1 million. And I guess we're only getting a 0.1% rate of return.
So can I take you back to page 9 on the general fund detail revenue? If I take that And top total, which is 1,173,964. And I added to that bottom total, which is 5,015,237. I get 618,000. I get 6,189,031. Okay. But that number should be, I would think, the same as the total on the budget summary. Page 5. Revenue. They don't match.
For revenue, I'm looking at the bottom line on page 5.
Okay,
I show, 5,015,237.
okay,
And that's the same thing I'm showing on page 9 of the general fund detail.
I'm sorry, what?
That's the same thing I'm showing on page 9 of the general fund detail.
You're right, I was looking at those, so those two numbers. So the 5,015,237 includes that 1,173,000 up there. Then are we counting grants twice? Because in that upper section, I see the 35,000 grant.
Right.
And then I see it again. Oh, it's not carried over. Okay, got it.
It's because we're going to get another grant.
Right.
I had the same question last year. The anticipation one is what we need.
Okay. The 5,015,237.
Is there a possibility for the future where we can have another column where we can show where we're at with actuals in this current budget? So we're not jumping around to all these different spreadsheets, where we can just take a look at one simple spreadsheet.
Maybe. I don't know. You know, there's only so much information you can put on a page. But we'll do our best.
That's why they're phasing the penny out and going to it.
I think what John's talking about is a year-to-date column, but maybe we just, that could be on one sheet or something. But it's what I found stuff was like looking at the ones that have of the state general fund. We've got totals over there, but over here it's general capital and local option. It'd almost be nice to make 3 lines so that you could see what each one was last year and the year before. You know what I'm talking about there? So you weren't just trying to
Yeah,
say, wonder what general fund was last year.
Because
In the year
it's
before,
only showing you the total.
Yeah.
Instead of each one.
Yeah, and I know historically we have what 2023, you know, we got 2 years ago. Is that like a requirement or do we need that? Like if we have 2-year 2024 to 2025 is actual from 2 years ago, we can do current year to date instead of having the 2023, 2024 column or something like that.
Actually have to show those
Yeah.
by Oregon.
Do we have to
budget.
show it? Oh, okay. That's what I wasn't sure about the budget requirement. Do we
Okay,
have to have 2 full years? Okay.
if I show $2,000 of revenue in fire protection contracts, and I spend $2,000 in elections,
5,000.
5,000?
Yeah.
That's not gonna balance the budget. Okay, so,
Okay, that sounds good then. Close enough.
then that'll make these numbers match.
So the bottom line didn't change. For the budget.
It's the same.
It's the same. It's
But I'm
just
gonna tweak two categories a little bit, but they'll offset each other.
okay.
So, whoever would like to make the motion, I have a sample. On it.
I'll make a motion. Approving and adopting.
Actually, I guess, let's back up, go back to the agenda, Mark.
Okay.
So I'm done with the budget review.
Oh, we got public comment.
Yeah.
Okay. Comment.
Okay, then the next item.
And motion for approval of the budget.
Who would like to make the motion?
You give that to me, and I'll read it and make a motion. I'd like to move that the Jackson County Fire District 1 Budget Committee approves the 26-27 budget as presented and approves the tax rate for the 2026-2027 fiscal year at the rate of 1.9313 per $1,000 of assessed value for the general fund, 0.25 cents per 25 cents per thousand of assessed value for the capital levy fund, and 80 cents per thousand of assessed value for the local option levy fund.
You need to ask for.
Yep. John Foster,
Yes.
John Ellis,
Yes.
Jim Stearns.
Yes.
Craig Barry,
Yes.
Nabu. Oop, Nabu,
Yes.
Sorry, forgot to take my mute off. Yes.
Rick Dennehy, Jerry Gay,
Yes.
Mark Moran.
Yes.
And Cliff King.
Got her done with only one meeting this year. That's a good thing.
It's not even dark yet either.
Yeah.
Sometime back,
You should have drove.
Mr. Barry, we buy protective gear, Elizabeth vests and all that. Are they included in the uniforms? Because they're gonna have to be renewed for long. I do have a shelf life.
Do I need,
I would say that they're in.
do I need to sign anything?
Because they might get kind of expensive.
Oh, no, I don't have anything to sign. You're good. Thank you though.
Oh, you're vice president.
Oh, yeah.
For the new one.
Second.
Thank you.
Favor?
Aye.
The number of.
Well done.